Okay, so we pretty much got everything prepped, ready to go for me to cut the floor out. Well, not quite, right? Now, I just want to make things clear that I'm double, triple checking all my walls are straight and are parallel. Fuck you! You suck! What we're doing now is I haven't finished fully marking everything out for where I cut my floor. Well, I have along this edge through here, and this edge through here, but I've got my little wardrobe that I need to do. Now, what I'm doing is I just want to make sure that I've got all my walls are sort of plumb. Like this is going to be the corner of the shower, so I'm just double checking all my walls are nice and plumb, which it seems to be pretty good. Like this one's got a slight bow on it, but it's still freaking it's pretty damn good from top plate to bottom plate. We'll be able to straighten that out with our wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to parallel out off my wall 550. Oh, I already got a mark through here. That was just from the existing bottom plate. So 550. And then I'm also going to parallel off my external wall here. She already got some marks there, which I'm pretty happy with. So now, I use a couple of different methods to mark my bottom plates out, right? Now, you seen me earlier, I used the laser to get this up my wall through here nice and parallel and level. I used my tape measure at the top and at the bottom just to double, triple check everything, make sure my laser's still working well. So I'm able to get that nice and square and plumb. Now, this one here, I'm just using a number of methods. I'm using my square, and I'm measuring off the external walls and just double, triple checking that everything's nice and square. I'm also making sure that all my walls here are like plumb. So you can see that there's a bit of a bow in here, but we'll be able to straighten that out eventually with our new wall that runs through. Just double checking everything's nice and somewhat, within a mil or two. So a mil or two. It is a really old house, so it's going to be hard to get things nice and straight, but I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'm just going to use my skilly and I'm going to cut along this line, making sure I don't cut the actual part of the floor I need out. Stuff you, Mikey. Come through and cut it out before we actually stick our bottom plates down. It's going to make our life easier in the long run. Alrighty, Tim Tidy, so pretty much got the floor all cut out, ready to rock and roll. I had to go underneath the house and measure where my joists are, so we have fixing points for our wall through here. Now Mikey's just going through. He's nailed his top and bottom plate together. I think he's pulling it apart a little bit just because he doesn't quite have that flush. Oh, just about there. And then we're going to mark our 600 centers through here. We've also got a little cutout for where our cavity slide is going to go. All good? Yep. So we'll get that up and in now. Then we can start cutting some studs and make ourselves look pretty. Hey, Mikey! So we're fucking sucker fucker gushy pussy. Sweet, so we're just going to go through with our top and bottom plates in, make sure that they're plumb and level, and then we can go start throwing our stud. The heck? Your push looks like. We could start calling you frickin' Homer Simpson.
Yeah, so, since it's a very old house, some of these timbers are actually not the same size as our new 3x2 that we're going to use. So, but some of them are good, like that one that's all fits 70 mil. But this one is about 67.
Yeah.
So I have to play in like a mil and a bit just to match it with our new wall that we're going to attach to our existing wall.
Yeah. Just making sure it fits the existing timber, eh? The gauging can be slightly off. This is old, dry as. Such an old house, 50 years old, so there's definitely variances. Now you'll notice that I've actually stopped every now and again there, and there. And I stopped again here. Now that's because my floor joists are actually running through here. Now, the reason I know that they're there is because I'm cutting through this chipboard and it's quite soft and it's actually cutting quite easily. Then all of a sudden you'll get a stop. It will stop, boom. So I literally just pull the saw out straight away and carry on. And those are the points where I use my renovator. So, I did my stud spacings at 600 centers on these 3x2 walls, but I'm just not quite happy with that, eh? So I'm gonna cut the stud out and move it to 400 spacings, just because it's 3x2, and give it a little bit of strength. It's unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. You want to suck a fucking aggressive pussy or what? Now when it comes to actually shooting my stud on, I'm actually offsetting the stud a little bit. So if I'm going to be shooting from that side, see that's my mark there. I'm about, you know, a mil or two off. So when I do go to shoot this, oh, it's actually going to push it back to the right spot, and then I'll just shoot that on. Now we've got that perfectly in line. And that's what I do with most of my timber. I'll offset the timber the way I'm shooting it, and that way when I shoot the nail in, it's going to push it towards the line. What we need to do is we pretty much need to reconstruct a wall with nogs through it all before we can come through to any of our walls that sort of butt into that wall.
What? What?
Okay, sweet. So, just coming through, I wanted to mention quickly before we keep freaking nailing off and nogging these out. Now, a little bit of a pro tip when framing walls and stuff like that is you'll notice that I've gone through and I've put my studs in this new wall that we've built through here, but I haven't actually gone through and I haven't nailed any of the studs off to the existing walls just yet. And the reason being is I actually need to nog this wall fully out. So that way I know this wall's fixed in place before I nail this one off plumb. You could imagine if there was no nogs in here and then I nailed the stud off against that wall, nice and straight and plumb, and then all of a sudden I start whacking some nogs in and one of them's 2 or 3 mil out. What that's going to do is it's going to bow this stud out of plumb. Well, not out of plumb, but it's just going to make it, it's not going to make it straight. So just got to be careful when you're starting to frame things out like this. Just start at the beginning and finish at the end. But anyway, Mikey's putting our header in up here. Well, not really a header, but our false header in, so we can frame this out through here, and then you can sort of get a little bit of a gist of what's going on. Now, our cavity slider comes through here, and then we've obviously opened this up. Our bathtub now comes in through here, and there's a toilet here, sort of hidden as you walk in, vanity and shower. And then through here, Obviously this is going to be the wardrobe for bedroom number 1.
You always start at the beginning and finish at the end. That's a mean quote.
So we'll put a special. After all that freaking goddamn yapping, what I'm pretty much saying is I've knocked this wall out and now I can come through and straighten this stud out that butts into it. So I'm really happy with the levelness, and I just check up and down and making sure that there's no ins or outs on the frame, but I'm pretty happy with that. Don't drop it. I'm gonna nail it in. That way that's fixed in place, and then I can now use this to nog this out and just make sure that I've got a nice straight corner as well, which is pretty good. It looks like it actually needs to, it's pretty good actually. And now Mikey's put this in, so I'm just gonna plumb this out as well, just so I can do both of those both ways. Just make sure I'm reasonably good there. Fuck yeah. So I'm literally just gonna nail it into here. So we pretty much framed this whole bathroom out, which is good. Got all our new walls in. Now got about half an hour left for the end of the day, so I'm gonna frickin' bibbly bap this up, try and pull it up and get it out. Come on, sweetie. Ah! You gotta give it a love. Gotta give it some of that love, doctor. Yo, good morning. We're back on site. Another freaking rainy day in the office, but that's okay. What we're gonna do today is, you can see we have completely removed the floor from inside this bathroom. And now what we need to do is we need to put nogs in place around the perimeter and at 400 centers throughout the floor. Why do we need to do that, Mikey?
Because this new bathroom, bathroom is all gonna be tiled, so we need more structural support to support the tiles, and also waterproofing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna nog it all out, and then we'll get some freaking plywood down, some H3.2 ply, and then we're pretty much ready to rock and roll for the plumber to come in and beep beep. You like that? Beep beep.
Beep beep.
Sweet. What are those? Shit, bro. Definitely working on the shore with these on. Check it out. Bro, these quads are too thick for the jeans, baby. Nah, alright, sorry guys, far out. We're back on site this morning, and we're going to be trying to fit this, we're going to finish this bathroom off, right? I've been away in Wellington, so the boys have been doing bits and pieces, but we're back here. I don't know where we left off, but pretty much what we've done is, I think I mentioned to you guys we're going to be putting nogs in at 400 centers. So if you have a look underneath here, Fabian, see all that? Yeah, you can see. We've nailed these in, 400 centers everywhere, all our perimeters. And you'll also notice that I'm using a square edge ply instead of a tongue and groove. And the reason being is because we've got all our edges supported all the way around. It's going to be much easier for us to install this. Okay, so boys done really well, knocked all that out. We're also using a structural plywood, okay? You don't use a freaking shitty piece of ply. We want to use structural plywood, H3.2, especially in the bathroom. So they've cut this out and they've installed it, which is really good. So now we're going to go through and we're just going to measure our last little bits, put them in, and then we'll glue and screw this bad boy down. 150 centers around the perimeters and 300 through the middle. So let's do it. Yeah, so what we want to do is make sure we got factory edge, go to factory edge. That way we get continuity between the sheets, and hopefully. So this is round 2, but what we want is we want to try and get it nice and tight. Less movement. Look at that, sexy. Just like me. Fabiano, hey, what do you reckon? Should we? Oh, it's gonna be tight, eh? That's what we want, though. Nah, that's all good. We'll get it. I brought the planer in just in case, anyway. When I'm nailing these nails on a flat like this, obviously I could get one end, but the other end I always keep a little bit proud from the stud when I shoot it, and then when I put my nails in, it just brings it back flush. Otherwise, you're going to be battling trying to pull it back out. Woo! Sweet, so floor's all screwed down, look at that. Fabian did a really good job. Now, I've just done this. I put my nogs in for the shower and the vanity, but we've sort of run out of 4x2 framing. So we're actually going to shoot off today and go to one of our other jobs and just put a couple of architraves, bit of jib board, finish the day off, go pick up these materials, and we'll be back on site tomorrow. Peace! Pretty much. We've pretty much got all our nogs in. We've got our shower rail nogs, our nogs for the channels for our... Hey! Hey! Fabian! 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 Hey, Fabian! Fabian! Fuck!
What?
I was just doing a video and you're going bang, boo, 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 boo. You just stay there. Alright, we made it back on site this morning. We pretty much got all our bits and pieces in, our nogs at least. Look, we've got towel rail holder nogs. Wires are not in place yet, but that's okay. We've got a toilet roll holder nog. This is pretty much, toilet roll holders want to be around 650 off the ground. Plenty of space. We've got our shower rail fixing points. Got our edges of our showers nogged out just in case. Vanity. Now, pretty much the last thing I need to do in this bathroom framing wise is just check this wall over here. It's such an old wall, fucking shit framing, well not shit framing, but I can just see there's high spots and low spots, so I'm just going to check it for level on in each corner. Now, honestly, it looks pretty good. There is a little bit of, I'm not going to freaking bother with a mil or two, like, if I'm being honest, like that's pretty good. You know, I think the tolerance is 3 mil over 2.4, but we still want 0, but I'm not going to spend hours trying to fucking fix something that you're never really going to see. Obviously I'll get it right in a new build, but now I'm just going to check the bottom plate too. Now there is a little step there, but again, hey, you're not really going to notice that, which is pretty good. And then I'm just going to check my top plate. I just want to make sure that all the areas around the outside of this wall are sort of somewhat decent. I'll just go like this. Okay, so there is a slight gap here, and that just due to the joint in this top plate, I assume. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, my pencil, put a mark here, pretty much to where it's tight on both sides, and then I'm going to just get my measurements from where my mark is there. So what do we got? 63, and I'll write 63. I've already done this, just so you know. And then I got 64, so I mark 64, 65, and 66, and then obviously on this one here it's 65, and then 63. So it sort of dips in quite a bit there. So I know that this section is the only point that I sort of need to pack out in this area, top plate. So now that I know all my sort of bottoms and tops are somewhat straight and my corner studs, I can go through and I can just start using my straight edge to check this stuff. So check that out. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's crazy. Like even like there. So what my plan of attack is, I can't cut any of the studs and move them in and out because it's an external wall and we've got brick ties attaching to most of these studs. So my plan of attack is really just find the worst spot and start planing. And I think the spot here is the worst by the looks of it, if I just go like that. So I'm just going to start planing this down, get this somewhat straight. Yeah, you can see that. Shit, see that? Crazy. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll just start planing and then just keep checking with my level, and then we'll go from there. And that's pretty much going to wrap up the bathroom framing video. Key points is pretty much make sure that all your new framing is nice and straight. And when it comes to the old framing, we're buzzing and packing to make things nice and plumb and level. I think tolerances are like a couple of mil. Tyler's going to be able to, if the Tyler and the plasterer are going to be able to fudge those to little bits and pieces. Not that we want to leave it up to them, but the amount of work to get this thing like completely perfect is going to not resemble the time that's going to take, if that makes sense, or the cost that it's going to incur. So pretty much a few other things that I want to discuss is, so we had the plumber in yesterday and we were just discussing about positionings and stuff like that. One thing that we noticed, we've got a meter by a meter shower here and we've got a freaking joist bang in the middle, and we're going to have a center waste. So we had to go back to the client and discuss with them that we want to almost change that center waste to a channel drain, a tile insert channel drain, so the water flows all the way down to one side. And then what we'll do with that channel drain, we're going to get it custom made and put the outlet to one side. That way we have clear access for, I've got my little thing here, this is where the waste hole's going, clear access for the waste to go down and outside the building. So that was something that we needed to discuss. We also discussed what way the door's opening for the shower, so you can easily turn it on and get your shower rail, flick it over that way if you want. Other bits and pieces like the bathtub. Now the bathtub is 1500, and then we've also got our vanity here. So we're sort of humming and hawing to get a smaller bathtub because it's quite a narrow space here. We're sort of just standing here figuring out where the drawers are going to come in and out. But hey, even if you get a 100 ml smaller bathtub, you're still going to have buckle space to open your drawers. So it's just going to be one of those tight ones. But they'll have the bath. The bath is kind of important for resale value as well. So that's pretty much it in here. I think that's it. I mean, a few things before our inspection. We sort of need to put these galvanized corner flashings in, and they go in the areas where the waterproofing's going. So we'll put one here, one there, and one in that corner. Oopsies. And then of course we've got tile and slate to go down, but we can't put that down until we get our framing inspection, so the inspector can inspect our screw pattern, and we've got the correct structural plywood down. One last thing I will say as well is when we were talking with the Tyler yesterday, on the plans it shows that the vanity we're putting a new vanity in here, just a small one, right? Oh! Oh, hooked on the freaking toilet roll holder. But the vanity's going on this side, so it's 180 mil out, right? And 450 long. Now, if we were to put it on this wall, the access between this and the vanity is going to be really tight. You're going to have to walk like this to go and take a pupus. So what I decided is I'm actually going to put the vanity on this side, and that way you've got clearance all the way around to take your nice little wee-wees. I didn't bring the vanity top up or anything like that. I just made a little jig. I don't know if you can see this, but you got a couple of bits of 4x2 on top, and then just a 4x2 stand at the right height. And I just screwed it on there just to see what it was like. And I just walked through. I was like, nah, that's not going to work. So bits and pieces like this, sometimes the architect or some things haven't been thought through properly, and you can just make the changes when the time comes. But yeah, always trying to forward think and think about all these bits and pieces. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys watching, and make sure you leave a comment or subscribe. Comments, I love the comments because you know, we get great information from them as well. So yeah, subscribes, thumbs up, and see you on the next one. Peace.